Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to the Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is Stephen. Stephen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Thank you. So let us know where you live and what you do.
I currently reside in Portland, Oregon with my wife and our children. And I am the co-founder, along with my wife, Lori, of Crispy Filled Bites, the first ever patented crispy shredded filled hash brown bite.
Awesome. So let us know a little bit more about these crispy filled bites, how it tastes, and who will be your best customers who will be going to buy this crispy filled bites.
That's a great question. As a foodie and a pseudo chef, my whole life since the age of 5, I was traveling outside of the country with another company that I had, and I was actually in South Africa, and I was invited to a private dinner, and it was catered. And these two chefs, or one chef and his cousin, began shredding potatoes, hash browns, put them and frying them in a pan, and then filling them with cheese and meats and vegetables, and then covering them with shredded potatoes. They fried them on both sides and then quartered it like a pizza. I've eaten many different things. I've been, all over from Russia to South America to China to India and Europe. I have tasted the craziest things where I would then document what I tasted, and then I would come back home and recreate it for friends and family. This absolutely resonated with me because it was so simple. It was so crispy and deliciously seasoned on the outside of a hash brown, but on the inside, it was melty cheese and different meats and different vegetables. And I knew at that moment in time that I had tasted something that resonated so well with me that I needed to bring it to market. So my wife and I were tapped by the Oregon State University Food Incubation team here in Portland. They have an innovation center right in downtown. And in 2018, we created our first 5 flavors. And they're really like an oversized tater tot. So if you could picture eating tater tots or a crispy hash brown, and when you bite into it, there's cheese inside, or there's different meats inside, or there's different fillings inside. And it had never been done before. So at the age of 54, not 6 years ago when we first created this, people thought I was crazy to jump right into opening a company and starting a company. These crispy filled tots or filled hash brown bites. They thought I was even crazier to think I could get a patent on it. And in July of 2020, the U.S. Patent Office issued us our patent for a filled potato.
Awesome. That's a yummiest conversation, I believe. Okay. So let me know, what is in your product that sets you apart from the market?
What sets us apart is the fact that we created a category that had never been done before, and to this day it has not been done before. There are tater tots out there that are tossed. So you take tater tots, toss it with cheese, and then mold it into like a cone and then fried. There's never been one that's actually filled, where you can actually pull this out of your air fryer from the freezer to an air fryer, open it up, and have cheese just oozing out of it, which is just delicious. When we started, we launched in 2019 at Whole Foods, and within 2 years, we were national with them. We were ultimately in almost 3,000 stores nationwide until about a year ago. We did a 42 building test, 9-week rotation at Costco, and all of the accolades that we had gotten, winning the first ever Naturally New York pitch contest 2 years ago in New York with over a $70,000 prize, was really, really exciting for us. But what was happening behind the scenes were all of the distributors, the two biggies that I'm sure you know, KE and UNFI, who distribute our frozen product nationally. The deductions just came every single month, and it was a full-time job to fight the deductions, and then the slotting fees, and then the promo asks and everything else. And the straw that broke the camel's back in retail, because we actually pivoted completely out of retail 9 months ago and are now focused on food service, QSR, quick serve restaurants, convenience store chains, and the like, is that Whole Foods changed their whole program in December of 2022, and they went to a quadrant system. When we found out that they had arbitrarily raised our pricing on shelf from $5.99 to $8.69 in 3 of the 4 quadrants. And, because we were noticing our velocities were drastically reducing week on week. And then they doubled their promos from 11,000 to 22,000 with higher requests on that. It just became just a money pit where, knowing that we had an absolutely best-selling product in a concept that had never been done before, and with the second most consumed food in the world, which is potatoes, our call outs are, 100 calories or less. They're certified gluten-free. They're clean label. We had all of the recipe for success, and we just continued to, run in the red on a monthly basis because of all these hurdles. So knowing that I own the IP on it, the patent on it, and it's widely received, we did one test, an LTO, limited time offer, for 8 weeks at a Circle K division in the Midwest 2 years ago in 600 stores. We actually took 2 of these bites, crispy hash brown bites, put them in a boat in the hot case. They started off with only requesting a 40,000 pound truckload to last 8 weeks, and they were selling 2 in a boat for $2.89. And what happened was, when they got all set in the stores on July 1st of 2022, they were supposed to last until September 1st. 6 days into the limited time offer, they had sold out, and they called me and said, we need more. So we sent them 2 more truckloads, and 3 weeks later they sold out and called back and requested more. That was a 400% over forecast test. And what it proved was, number one, that it works in convenience, grab and go. We have now got several contracts into school districts across the country. And the second part about that is that we can now hold margins truly unheard of in the industry and still offer the best tasting, stuffed hash brown that's never been done before to the masses, without all of the slotting fees and the promo costs and the deductions and everything else. So what we found was, it's been painstaking to pivot and to stop all retail and club, understanding that we now know on a proven model that we've experienced that this is the way to go. And there was a lot of people looking at me saying, you've got 6 years experience in this business. What makes you think that just stopping all of this? And these are people on my team that have got between 5 or 6 and they have hundreds of years of experience in CPG space. And they're saying, you're just going to pivot? I mean, we should try this store. We should try this banner. We should try that banner. And I said, I've been listening to everybody for 3 years now. And all we've been doing is, it's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. The results I found, which I always knew were going to be huge, were in grab and go, food service, schools, quick serve restaurants. And there is so much opportunity out there that we've actually just signed an agreement where we are no longer co-packing and contract manufacturing. We are now opening our own 60,000 square foot production facility in the Midwest and running our first productions next month. And we will now have capacity, efficiencies, a test kitchen where we can create flavor profiles for larger companies specific to them, and continue the ride of the only filled hash brown in the market today and bring it to the masses, as I've always known could happen.
That's awesome. That's awesome indeed. So while you are selling on offline and online as well, so do you have any ratio in your mind, like how much percentage you are selling online and how much percentage you are selling offline at this time?
We don't sell online. It's a frozen product. So as you can imagine that, drop shipping to customers is very expensive with dry ice and everything else. So we have yet to enter into that model. I'm not saying we won't. The efficiencies and the companies that are opening over the last several years are really bringing some good ideas to the table. We're not focused on that because of the amount of business that we are now getting in the food service private label arena, and we just want to continue to ride that wave and grow this company to an exciting exit in the next 3 to 5 years.
Awesome. So, but what is the way to acquire a customer at this point while you are not selling online? So how you are acquiring these customers, and are you doing offline marketing or the online marketing?
We have been absolutely lucky and blessed to have 2 amazing brokers, female brokers, that have been in this space for over 30 years each. One is right in our backyard of our new facility in the Midwest. The other one is on the East Coast. And what they're bringing to the table is 30 years of success in the convenience store arena, and then also in the big banner store arenas like Walmart, Sam's Club, and many other convenience stores in the country that we have already been getting commitments from banners that have, 2,000 stores, 2,500 stores, 4,000 stores. It doesn't take many to secure these accounts. Where we now know we're either going to be in their hot case grab and go, or we're going to be offering it through their own banner as a private label in bags in their own frozen section. So we have now completely gone away from branding, knowing that we own the patent on a filled potato, and we can offer efficiencies in production now. We can offer custom flavor fillings for the right accounts, and we can really get to the heart of the interested banners out there that have wanted us for years when we were a brand, but now they see the benefits of bringing on as a private label that really resonates. And as over 70% of consumers trust private labels over brands on so many levels. And, we got to a point where when I decided to stop everything and move into private label food service is, give the people what they want. We've got a clean label product. We've got something that, kids love, after school snacks. It's an all day part. It's a filled hash brown. See, we have breakfast covered with, sausage, egg and cheese, bacon, egg and cheese, filled hash browns. We have lunch covered with ham and Swiss and jalapeno and different flavors like that, buffalo chicken, pizza flavors. We have after school snacks where, moms love the call outs of the clean label, 5 ingredients or less. They're getting their vegetables and they have good protein and fiber call outs. Side of plate for dinner, appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, game day, tailgating parties. I mean, these are all a handheld, crispy filled hash brown with a delicious crunch on the outside and an amazing surprise inside for everyone to experience.
Hey y'all, it's Dan Melnick, the CEO of Zing, and I wanted to share a special offer for all of our listeners. Right now, if you need software development services, we'll give you 2 weeks of a free trial. Do you need to update your website? Do you want to build a mobile app? Do you want to update something that you've been working on for a long time? We've worked in a high-level technologies like AI, machine learning, blockchain. So shoot me a text, 817-874-2208. Thank you.
That's great. Completely makes sense. So as per your long-term goals, you are going to take an exit after 3 years. But what are you looking for after 1 year, or like before you take an exit? What is the biggest thing that you have to achieve?
What we have to achieve is, securing these large accounts, which we're in the process of doing now, securing them and, building the lines to continue to reduce the lead times on our product, because what we've already experienced is that they may want a PO this size, but once they launch it and the success comes quite quickly with our products, they need to know that they can reorder and have a very quick turnaround, with our product, back into their pipeline, and also know that on larger accounts that make sense, that they can actually come into our test kitchen, our R&D kitchen, and create flavors of their own specific to their consumer base, which is really exciting. So that's where we want to be in the next year. And then we want to continue to grow that and build our multiple until ultimately an exit, because this patent is something that, offers licensing opportunities for other manufacturers, offers custom flavor profiles, and a lot more.
Sure. So because you are the founder of the company, so every founder wear a lot of hats. So I believe you must be wearing more than one hat for sure. So
absolutely.
So in terms of your role and responsibilities, just for our understanding, so that we can understand like at what stage where a founder should be, how many hats you are wearing, and what are your role and responsibilities. I believe you must not be frying, or maybe you are not baking the crispy filled bites, but like what things you are managing? You are in operations, marketing, or client relationships. So where you fit in yourself?
A lot of all of the above. We do all the test bench work on new flavor profiles. We're currently testing several raw materials that we use in our ingredients. We're always looking for a cleaner label of our raw materials, and from potato shreds to different flours and such. Again, all gluten free. So we have a really big following in the celiac community. But we do that. We're constantly working on new flavor profiles. I do a lot of the face-to-face client relationships. I love working with clients. I always have a great relationship with clients, and my communication to them, and really telling the story. And it just so happens to be me that created this. So it's no better person to be able to share the story. So when our brokers are out there and they're like, okay, we're at this large 3,000 doors convenience store that really wants your product, I tell them, get me on a Zoom call. Let me get some samples to them. And like I said, get on a Zoom call while they're tasting them, so I can walk through and give them the story of how all this came about. Because as you know, facts tell and stories sell. There's a lot of facts behind it that we can talk about, but the fun part is the story. How it came to be, how it originated in Switzerland 200 years ago as peasant food. And then fast forward 200 years, later, we have the opportunity to offer this and have, people today from all ages, from children all the way to great-great-grandparents, taste something that they've never tasted before that really resonates. And we literally have had no one ever taste it and not say, this is amazing, because it is. And it's so simple. Marketing is another thing. We have our own marketing team that I have a direct line with comments on to make sure that our message is plain and simple. It's fun, it's clean, and we want people to try it. And the marketing gives them the reason to want to try it and request samples. We have a great accounting department, so that's off of my plate. I have a great CMO, chief marketing person, and operations manager that's been doing this many, many years. I have really been blessed to have people that I've surrounded myself with, people smarter than me, as my dad always told me. And he also told me when I was 9, always admit you know what you don't know. And I say that on a regular basis. I don't know that, but I do have somebody on our team that does know that, and I can rely and lean on them to give me their insights so we can make conscious and forward moving decisions on a regular basis. Hence, going directly into food service, bulk packs. We've just now secured several school districts in the country. Everybody at the school districts, loves the fact that the call outs are clean, they're gluten free. They've got proteins, they've got nice fiber call outs. And so we've really found a much bigger audience than a branded retail product in frozen. And we're so excited to get started in our very own facility next month. And we have all the room in the world to grow and to bring this product to the masses.
Awesome. So in terms of an entrepreneur, what do you think when a founder or an entrepreneur should start delegating their responsibilities to the others?
Sure. Early on, there's so many hats to wear. But, I was told a long time ago, and I didn't come up with this, but I was told a long time ago, and I tell people this always, fail fast and fail often. Don't wait 6 months down the road and say, no, that's fine. I'll take care of that. I'll take care of that. I'll take care of that. And then just kind of micromanage and hold everything to yourself. I've surrounded myself with these people who are much smarter than I am, with many, many years in this space, CPG world. I lean on them all the time. And I tell them, if they can afford it, bring people in. If they can't afford it from a dollar value, the first thing I did was I offered, limited amounts of equity when I couldn't, I didn't have the capital to do it, because I recognize the value that these people bring. And now that they're on board as an equity partner in return for their services, now we all have the same tunnel vision in mind, and that's growing this company and growing it big and wide.
So that's a great thing. Stephen, let us know the biggest piece of advice that you can give to our audience, and who are thinking to be their own boss, or maybe they are running a business.
I read something just this morning and it resonated. If you don't know how to fail, you'll never learn how to succeed. I have failed more often than I believe anybody would want to. And I don't mean crash and burn on a regular basis where people go, what are you thinking? You don't even know what you're doing. What I mean is failing in the sense that this did not work. Admit it didn't work. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over, hoping it will work. Just switch and pivot. The number one word I've used in the last 9 months to a year is pivot. Understanding how to pivot. And again, if you don't know how to fail, you'll never learn how to succeed. Admit to yourself, look in the mirror and say, that didn't work. Brush it off. It's not the end of the world, but what it is a learning experience. And that's why I've always said all my life, fail fast and fail often, because you will get past this. And if you do have, the innovation or the product or the service that you're looking to bring to market, my gosh, surround yourself, find people in your community, find a mentor, find somebody that knows a heck of a lot more than you know, and just say, listen, I want your help. Join these groups, these business groups, these online groups. I have 8,500 followers on LinkedIn. There's a lot of people that have a lot more than I do. But I really reach out on private messaging to people. When I have a question, I'll say, you know what? I connected with somebody on LinkedIn that I believe has an answer. And it's so interesting that 10 times out of 10, I've never had anybody say, well, no, I'm not going to answer that. This space, this CPG space, I have never met more people that are willing to help than in the food and beverage industry. So that would be my comment on a biggest piece of advice.
So this is a very beautiful advice. I believe I can resonate it with myself as well, because I started my business in 2016 and I failed a lot. Everybody said, live it, live it, just live it. So I believe we need a big heart to say that whatever I'm doing is wrong and doesn't work. So I think we need some guts to say no to ourselves, whatever we are doing. So this is hard. Obviously, I can understand. This is really hard. And the word pivot was a scary word for me. It was a scary word.
It is scary.
So yeah, and yes, in last 1 year, I believe I have pivoted to multiple things. And I can recommend all these things with me, and I can say like, yes, this is one of the most beautiful advice. So thank you, Stephen. Thanks for appearing today. I really enjoyed the conversation. It was an energetic conversation, and I believe this is helpful for many of the entrepreneurs. So,
Thank you.
and let our viewers know how they can reach you. If you can share your website, your social media,
Sure.
where you want people to reach you.
Sure. You can go to crispyfilledbites.com. You can find us on Instagram. I believe it's Rosti Stuffed Spuds. You'll find us right out of the gate on that, and as well as Facebook. We are soon to be on TikTok. I've got some Gen Z children under this roof, and they're like, "Dad, you got to get on TikTok." We're gonna get on TikTok. Let us get our first production under our belt, because it's going to come fast and furious, and we'll be all over it. We'll also be announcing that on our website. So thank you for having me on and allowing me to share my story today, because it's right on the brink. It's 9 months of no revenue. It's a lot of internal passion that the fire continues to keep going in these times of uncertainty. What am I going to do? How am I going to make a living? Guess what? The man upstairs has always showed up, and he's gotten me to today, where I'm at today, and will continue to guide throughout. When you have a great product, when you surround yourself with great people, and just as you said, and I love that, you have to have the heart to do it. And with Lori by my side, my best friend, married to her for 22 years, an amazing partner in business and in life, with amazing children, we have that fire, we have that passion, and we're not stopping. And we're going to prove a lot of people wrong, and we're excited about that.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for the golden words. I really like this, and see you soon. Stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you again. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.